What is going on, guys? How are we tonight? I'm your host, Cap. This is the first revenge podcast ever. Um, I haven't fact checked that, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. But if you guys are in here, let me know in the chat. That way I can get a good idea that this is set up correctly, because there might be a little some bumps and bruises as we move along through this, just because this is our first time on this channel. So if you're in the chat, give me a holler, let me know. And then other than that, I'm going to just kind of break down what we're going to do here, what we're going to be doing as we go along through this. And then we're just going to go from there. So basically with this Revenge podcast, we're going to have a guest every week. We might miss a week here and there, but every week we're going to have a guest. Um, it'll either be somebody from the Revenge staff, a Revenge player, creator, as we move along, hopefully get more people involved from other organizations, from other companies, all that good stuff. So, without further ado, we're going to just get this started. We're going to get my man Zack in here, and we're going to get this going.
Oh, did we make it in okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, I gotta hit video.
Turn your camera on, and we're good. What's up, man?
What up?
I think we're doing all right. Got everything going so far.
A disclaimer: I was trying to listen to you and listen to the people in the call I was in before this, and it didn't work. So
no,
I don't know anything you said. If you said anything up for me,
that's gonna be a mess. No, I just was basically explaining that it's gonna be something that we're gonna try to do weekly. Have a guest along each week, and basically talk about life and esports and what you have going on, what we have going on, whether it's a Revenge staff member, player, creator, or hopefully down the line get other people involved from other organizations and just kind of go from there. But hey, Cap, what's up, Weber? But yeah, you can kind of just give an intro, let people know who you are, what you do here, what you do outside of here, and then we'll kind of dive into some questions and go from there.
yeah. So obviously you know me, but for those of you who don't, I started an esports apparel company back in 2014. The company's name was Esports Apparel. We rebranded it in 2016 to Sector 6. That's kind of been my main focus for the past 6-7 years. That's been most of my esports experience, more or less. I've kind of recently came into this ownership of Revenge. I think we ironed all the details out late 2021, September or something like that. And this has been something that Josh Watley, who I own the brand with, have been talking about and I have been talking about for a really long time. Revenge is how he and I had met and started working together on esports apparel at the time, Sector 6 now. And one thing led to another, exchanged hands, and now we're at a point where we can own the brand and kind of point it in the direction that we thought we've always been able to push it towards, and that's kind of what we're doing now. So very early stages is where Revenge is at right now, but we have a lot of pretty cool plans in the pipeline, and we're excited I'm excited, I think, to dive into this esports world. This is all new to me, so it's or this side of it at least.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's been different, and of course, some of you guys that know me know that I'm involved with Sector 6 as well. So it's been cool to be involved, and that's how me and Zack really got to know each other, was through that, and then ever since we've kind of just been taking steps towards doing different things. And that's one thing on the apparel side. Zack's definitely got me, I think, on maybe the organization side and how things go on that side. I'd say I have a fair amount of experience. But yeah, just kind of trying to get that going and
Yeah,
see what
I'll
we
have
can
you
do there.
know, I started an esports organization that was just a bunch of friends back in before esports apparel in Sector 6. It was Subliminal Esports. It was me and my buddy Zack Smalls, who we still keep in touch. He's still kind of in the space. Started or ran it or whatever. It was like a GB Call of Duty tournament organization. It was a lot of fun, but that was what got me the taste in this. But I've really touched it since then. And Cataclysm for a little bit, we kind of did, but we didn't really get too public with that. But yeah, so you definitely have me beat when it comes to like being a part of an organization.
Yeah, no, for somewhat. I'm gonna stop us real quick, and I knew
Sure.
we'd have some bumps in the road, but
Okay.
Kobe made me aware that the audio was messing up. Is everything okay now? Can you guys hear right?
Did he specifically say mono, or is the audio
Yes,
messing up? Yeah,
mono.
he was saying you're monotone.
No, I think he meant because you have to set a setting in OBS so that it's not just like one sided or whatever.
Oh,
Um,
I don't know. Can we get a mic check in the chat? Do we sound
he
okay?
said
Yes, it's good.
yes,
Yeah, I
it's
think he
good.
was just
Pacing said
busting
it's
your
good.
balls. Yeah, he's Zach sounds like he's in the bathroom. Turn him up. Well, I don't turn me up because I was sitting like really far away from my mic and I realized that I was, so I fixed
Yeah,
that.
no, we'll
Um,
get this worked out right now so we don't have to. You guys just let me know what's going on or
yeah,
message me
yeah,
on
maybe
Discord so
bump
it's
me
a
up a
lot
little bit.
quicker. I did bump you up a bit
Okay,
since I
okay,
said that.
okay.
So Kobe, were you good or were you messing with me? Because if not, I changed the settings.
I think I think we're good. Everybody said, or pacing said we're good.
Kobe, you need to hit me up on Discord. Let me know so we can get this rolling, man. I knew that there was going to be something that was wrong. You sound good,
Sound good.
Cap. Thank you. Does Zach sound all right? Is Zach loud enough? Yes.
Test.
Hopefully,
Oh,
once we
one,
get
two.
it, I'll be able to adjust it a little bit, and then that way we can just roll out with it. But yeah, you sound like you
Yeah.
brought the mic into the bathroom.
Well,
Why do
that's because I was sitting all the way back here before.
I don't know if he's talking about
Um,
me because mine should be
Zach
fine.
sounds like he's in the bathroom. That's
Like
what he
he's
said.
talking behind his door or what?
Oh, God damn it. How much close should I eat my mic? I can't get it any closer and be in camera at the same time.
I don't
Oh,
know. Yeah,
let's
and
do this.
I can turn you up a little bit more, but I don't
Is
know if
this
that's
better?
what they mean. I said it sounds good on my end, but I guess to
Okay.
them maybe it doesn't.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're bumping me up on Discord, it's not going to help the
No,
OBS.
I'm bumping it up
It's
in
very
OBS.
reverb heavy. Heavy. What? Am I on the right mic?
I would say
Technical
so.
difficulties. We should have dry ran this.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh, I'm on the right mic. All right, fuck you guys.
The problem is the people that we have
We
beside.
got mic checks are
Yeah.
trolls right now. What the
Yeah.
hell?
Need more 808. See, yeah, that's a stupid shit I'm talking about.
Old top hat. Yo, y'all are killing me.
I hate you guys. I really do. But anyways, speak again, Zach. Real quick. Talk again.
Test 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, we should be good then. Because you and I are about the same level when I'm speaking. So if they can't hear you, then I don't know why that would even be.
Yeah, I don't know. It's we are content. But what you're doing is not helping. Not gonna lie.
Who, me?
No, Kobe says
Oh,
we
we
are
are
content.
content. Oh,
Whatever. Let's just move on. Zach, sing Mr. Brightside. I can only sing Mr. Brightside if it's playing.
Yeah, exactly. Really, really loud.
Uh,
But yeah, but thanks to you guys for doing whatever the hell it is you guys are doing. But yeah, so basically, obviously with Zach and I being involved within the organization, we've kind of talked about this. But the thing about the podcast that I wanted to do is really be able to like reflect on certain questions. So I came up with 3 questions that we're gonna ask Zach. And mainly we're gonna go through these 3 questions, talk back and forth, and then obviously after that we'll dive into the chat. If you guys have any questions or want to touch on anything, we can go from there. But really, what I want this to be for you guys is something that you guys can look back at the VOD, or if you're here live, or if you want to look at the clips, whatever it may be, and kind of compare people's answers to these certain questions. And hopefully that'll help you guys out, whether it's through esports with life or just mentality in general, and go from there. But yeah, so first question, Zach, that I have for you guys is when it comes to the organization or maybe just in the apparel business, what sets you apart from others?
That's a really loaded question.
Uh-huh.
Sets who apart from others? Me as a person, or like Sector 6 as a company,
Yeah,
or
I mean, you can itemize it out for us if you want, but
yeah,
individually,
okay,
I guess
yeah.
maybe.
Individually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not the type to like toot my own horn, I guess.
Yeah. No.
But I think I excel in like setting up structure and organization, and like implementing systems to things that may not necessarily have them in place. Like, a really good example is the way um, the way we handle like our whole production and design process is kind of there is a system that's to it, that's past just you know putting together a hodgepodge of Twitter DMs and putting together a hodgepodge of emails and just like hoping that everybody comes away clean and communication is precise.
Yeah.
That I don't know if anybody else does it, but I know at one point it was really hard once we got to the point where we were managing more than 4 or 5 different designs and team orders at the same time. It got really, really sloppy. Um, and obviously, managing 4 or 5 team orders or designs at one time, you're not building a company out of that. You're just kind of like doing some freelance work on the side. Um, so I was able to kind of look at that and set up a system that made sense for us, and it's been one of the strongest pillars of what Sector 6 is the efficient communication and being able to, for me to who doesn't do the design work or doesn't necessarily sew and place and print the order, I could jump in at any time and see where the order is at or where the design is at and be able to communicate that effectively to somebody who reaches out to me. So systems and organization is something that I am really proud of about myself. And if you transition that over to like Sector 6 as a company, that kind of piggybacks off that a little bit. But Sector 6 as a company, because of all those things, like we are very efficient. We're pretty quick turnaround. Right now, things have been a little bit slower with COVID and just the state of the world. But we communicate very, very effectively. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a response via email within 24 hours. Our customer service process is very, very solid. And then, our design work is top notch. Mitchell Cooper has been probably the longest tenured jersey designer in this industry. I think he's been designing since he's 13 or 14. He's been designing since before esports apparel started, which is one of the longest. Like that brand started longer ago than most brands that are in the space right now. So he's got a lot of experience. He's a phenomenal designer. So I think we there's not a lot of brands that compete in this industry with our design capabilities. And then, I mentioned production speed and efficiency and communication. Like those are the things that set Sector 6 apart, is especially communication and like service to our customers. I think those are the things that set us the most apart.
No, and I mean, I would say if anything,
Quality, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. But I would say anything, whether it's in this space or business in general, a huge saying is obviously communication. Like communication is huge in everyday life, whether it's your IRL job, what you do here, what you do there. I mean, it's huge in a relationship. I mean, there's so many things that communication transfers to that it's unreal, but there's something about a genuine connection with somebody more than just a business relationship that I think also helps with that kind of process, really. Also, I'm just going to call myself out. I've been with Sector 6 now for a year, and I had no clue that we started out as esports apparel. So,
it's funny. I was on a podcast with Whoops.
Yeah.
He did the Point North podcast. And I had told him on it that I would show him a picture of. I have the OG jersey, the first one we ever printed. It's actually in my closet. I found it. I never sent it to him. I have to send a picture out. But it's we went by esports apparel for a year and a half, October of 14 to January of 16. So a year and 3 months or so. Yeah, esports apparel. It was pretty generic. We owned SEO. SEO was solid. Maybe I'll get in a little bit. But yeah, it was one of those things where I was like, do we want to be a brand or do we want to be like an esports apparel company?
Yeah, I mean that shows you how like raw it was at that time, though. The fact that you could literally go get esports apparel, like I mean, anymore, like I feel like getting companies going or anything going. I mean, it's hard to find a company name or even in this space, like team names and stuff. It is so hard to find something that hasn't already been taken or is already in use, whatever it may be. So.
In all fairness, like getting a company name like that is like every entrepreneur's wet dream, because you own the SEO for that, because people go on Google and it's esports apparel. Like I want to get esports apparel, and the first thing that comes up is a legitimate company.
That's called
Like that's
esports.
just what. And then whether you own the domain and forward it to a legitimate brand or company, or you just own the brand, like
Yeah.
whatever you do there is you have a lot of options. Yeah, yeah. The other one of the other companies that has been in the space for as long as esports apparel, gamers apparel, is same like mantra of name. Obviously, they've developed a brand. They're more than just being a gaming apparel company.
Yeah.
Uh, but
Yeah.
but yeah, it was a lot easier to pick names back then.
Yeah. No, 100%. But yeah, we're gonna transition into the next question, and I think this is a pretty basic question for a lot of things, but I think it's a very important thing, and I want to know like who drives you to be the best version of yourself, whether that's an individual, a group of people, certain people, whatever it may be. Like who drives you to be the best version of yourself?
Damn, you got some good. I've been on a lot of podcasts. I wouldn't say I've been on a ton of podcasts, but these questions are pretty good.
I try. I try.
Uh, um, so I grew up. I don't think I've ever actually talked publicly about like my upbringing or anything like that. Some people know, some people don't.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up. My dad got sick. My dad had a stroke when I was 5, so he kind of wasn't around all that much. And I grew up in a single family home, more or less.
Yeah.
And uh, I guess money was never like an easy thing to come by. We weren't like broke living on the street or anything like that, but it wasn't. Money was always just kind of like, oh, I don't know, how are we going to pay for this, that, the other.
Yeah.
And like my entire upbringing, it was always, I don't want to live a life where money and finance is like a crutch of mine. I don't necessarily need to be rich. I don't want to be rich or anything like that, but I didn't want to live where money and finance was a crutch. And that's been baked in my head since I'm old enough to realize what money was.
Yeah.
So like that has always been my guiding light in like striving for something. But outside of that, as far as an individual goes, like my fiance is like one of the most supportive people I've ever met. She supports me. Like I could come home one day and say I'm going to start a company, uh, killing weeds at people's houses. She'd be like, "All right, how are we doing it?" And it's like, when do you start? What can I do? Like,
Yeah. No.
so like having that almost blind support is like super reassuring. And doing everything that I've been trying to do, because in the last 18 months I've tried, and I wouldn't necessarily say failed, but burned out like 7 or 8 different projects. And every single one of them the same, attitude she brings to the table, and it's like supportive to me. Um, but yeah, I would say that those two things, one person and one like mindset. Um, and obviously got to build a pretty solid support group. I do between Revenge, and like Sector 6 and a couple of the other things. Like I have a lot of really strong um, relationships in the people with relationships with people who help me or I work with on those brands. Travis, who's in here, uh, he does a lot of the Sector 6 work with me now. He helps with the Nations work that I do. Travis recently promoted to VP of Sector 6. Obviously, you and I work a lot together with Revenge. Josh and I, everything Sector 6 from the beginning, more or less, has been just Josh and I. Um, in the nation side of things as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, every time we bounce out and to do some like any other project, it's always good to have like a second person in there to help, whether it's a friend or whatever.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think everybody has like that internal group or that group that's been with you since you know, either you being younger or in your early stages of, in your case, the apparel game or the early stages of what would be, um, even just the esports game. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of it. I mean, obviously, primarily, I would say, so I don't put all of it on you. Like primarily for me, would actually be like when I was growing up, my family did really well. I would say, in most cases, I would tell people I had what I needed, and sometimes I got what I wanted, but um, I always had to earn whatever it was, whether it's through chores around the house or whatever it may be. And so, although maybe our visions are a little bit different on that, that's something that obviously that I'm striving for in myself. Like, I don't have kids yet. I don't have a family yet. Of course, I have my girlfriend Kate, and we've been together for over 3 years, been great, and she's also a great person when it comes to supporting me. But that's been my thing too. Like I want my kids to grow up and have the same life I did or better. Like I want them to
Mm-hmm.
have everything they need and sometimes get what they want depending on obviously how they're acting or whatever it may be. But I think that's the cool thing about like, and then I'll dive into mentality a little bit, is people can have the same vision, right? Like people can have about the same vision but come from completely different backgrounds.
Yeah.
And it depends, like to me that's what makes it different, right? That's how you get there. Like you might have someone that grew up in a really bad home, really bad background, but they're not going to stop until they reach this. And then you might have that person that their family was here the whole time, and then they kind of get put out on their own and they're like, well, I know nothing but this, so I'm going to do
Mm-hmm.
this or better. I mean, so you know what I mean? Like you can
Yeah.
come from two completely different backgrounds, two completely different areas, and still strive to do the same thing. And I don't know, I like mentality. I know you're a year or two older than me, I think, but like I'm 26, I'll be 27 in May, and my mentality from like I tell people, I think from 19 to 22, 23 is when I learned the most in life. Like most of my hardships, I would say, like other than like day to day and like being a grown up and having to pay bills and all that stuff, like most of my
Yeah.
hardships and like really like life lessons came during that time. And since that time, like I think I'm a completely different person, and from what I've heard from other people, I am as well. Like my mentality on things,
Yeah.
and everything, and that, and simply put, like, because it's hard to, like, you can give people an advice, but really when it comes down to it, it's you. Like you're the one that
Yeah.
has to make the change. You're the one that has to take that and go and run with it. Um, so again, I think that, I don't know. That's just something from my book, I guess, is that like you can if you want to get somewhere, you can get somewhere. It's just a matter
Yeah.
of your
I would
mentality.
say you did a lot of your growing from 19 to 22. I think that a lot of that is like not. I'm imagining in most cases, unless you had like some crazy childhood, early 20s to probably the entirety of your 20s is when that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like for me, it was when I moved out here. Like I lived at home up until I moved out to Texas in September of 2017. For the year that I lived here with Josh actually, but away from my family and my fiance, uh, we were not engaged at the time. Um, it was like I think I grew up the most at that point because like I was always pretty mature, but I immediately had like a different type of responsibility in that I no longer was living with my mom and helping with the bills. It was like I had my own bills that if I couldn't make rent that month, I was it was going to be an issue. Um, so like for me, that's when I did a lot of my like growing up, which was a little bit older, a little bit later than you, but I think it's all just it's based on your positioning in life. Like if it just kind of depends on how it comes up, I guess. It's all.
Oh
It's all.
yeah, I mean, and you're gonna continue to learn. Even when you think you're grown or you've reached that level, like you're gonna continue to learn as you go,
Yeah.
anyways. And obviously, that's a thing in life that everybody wants to do. Like I hope every day I can learn something different. Or I hope I can learn a little something about that. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but yeah, no,
Quick
I think
quick
that's great.
comment on the chat. That 15% off was a Black Friday thing. It's 5%.
Absolutely. And that
So
King
popped off
Twizzy
snacks
is
conversation.
Trav.
That's Travis. Yeah.
Of course it is. He said
Yeah.
gaining responsibility is the quickest way to grow for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. If you
The
get stuff
truth.
put on
It's
you,
the
then
truth.
you gotta do it. And you gotta do it quick.
I
So
mean, it's one of those. It kind of goes. It goes. There's a saying. I don't know this one. But it's something along the lines of like, um, it goes along. If you heard complacency kills. But like you don't strive for something if you don't need it. Like most people don't strive for something if they don't need it. Like if they need money, they need a job, they need to get a better job than they have now. They're gonna strive for that. If
yeah.
you just want that because it's a luxury, you may not strive as hard for that, and you get into that complacent attitude, and it just kind of gets you stuck more or less. But where was I going with all this? I don't remember where I
You
was going.
tell
But
me.
yeah, like the driving factor behind like getting somewhere is a lot of it is like having that I need this mentality, whether you need it or don't, but you need to get yourself there.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I was going with. I totally lost my train of thought, but
100%.
I made the
No,
point I wanted to
that's
make.
okay.
That's all
Yeah,
that
you
matters.
got it out there. You guys know what he meant, all right?
So,
It's not what he said, it's what he meant, all right? But where else we got? Where can I get one of those sexy revenge shirts or the sweater? Well, that's funny that you guys say that because if you look right down there, you can use code TRFAM for 10% off. And I think Kobe already look at Kobe. What a mod this guy, all right? He already threw the website in there. And Zach, I believe you just kind of updated the website the other day.
yeah, the website is fresh and clean.
Yeah, but
It was
yeah,
very. It seemed very. It seemed very. I don't know, childish. To be totally fair, it was a reskin version of another website that I had built. But yeah, it's good now. I like it a lot. I like where it's at right now.
you didn't even see that, Travis? Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, it's not like it's just down there.
Right there.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's
How
just
do I
right
point
there.
right there?
Yeah, you had to point over and you can't even see it really.
I can't really
You got to
see
kind of
it.
do one of these, but no, yeah. If you got, in all honesty, if you guys, there you go. Yep, over there. Yep. But yeah, in all honesty, if you guys want to check that out, Kobe already put the website in here. You guys can use TRFAM for 10% off. And we're kind of new with the Revenge Barrel. Really, we had the original drop, and then the We Want Revenge hoodies that went out. So we're definitely gonna have some more coming your all's way sometime. We'll see
soon.
Oh, you heard it here.
I just made a Discord channel for it, so there's things being worked on.
Absolutely. Use code Amity for 0% off your order. Heck of a deal right there.
It won't work. It'll probably give you an error.
Yeah, it'll probably tell you to get out. But yeah, anyways, guys, right there's a code. If you want to check it out, go ahead. And of course, if you guys get something, tag us, shoot us a picture, join the Discord, whatever it may be. One thing we're talking about bumps on the road that I know we need to do in here is definitely put. I don't think we have any commands or anything like that.
Commands and alerts. We were talking about that right when you jumped out to start this.
So. Oh, okay. Definitely need to do that.
We'll get them sorted for next week.
Yeah, we got Kobe here. And towards the end of this, we'll put our link tree in here. So if you guys don't follow us on socials or are not in our Discord, you absolutely need to do that. But I have one more question for Zach, and then we'll kind of go into just open floor, chat a little bit about whatever comes to mind, whatever you guys have in chat for us, and then we'll go from there. So my last question for you, and again, this might be kind of open-ended, and might be a couple different ways you can dissect this, but do you believe there's a recipe for success, just in general?
No.
I
don't. I don't think you could open a book, and I don't think there is a this fits everybody recipe aside from like the determination of it. Mm-hmm. It's like if you're and this goes back to like what I was saying before, like there's a difference between needing to get to some point and wanting to get to some point.
Yeah.
Because if you want, you may be driven less than if you need it. But like as far as like a true recipe where you could say, I'm going to take this book, which isn't a book, it's a freaking portfolio, and open it up, and it's going to say step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. It's not, because, what I don't consider myself successful yet, but like what has gotten me to where I'm at is the drive to continue to grow. I think, and like spending that I can't word right now. It's been a long day. But like building a company and spending 9 to 5, like assume you don't have a job and say you have all the time in the world to build your own business. Doing that from 9 to 5 and not cutting it all off and doing nothing for the rest of your day is only going to get you so far. Like and then factor in the fact that you might have a job. So like at what point do you take the time out of your day, out of your personal life, out of your family time or whatever it is to like chip away at breaking through the mold of getting to where you want to be? That's the hardest part. I would say that's probably the only consistent factor is the the desire or the will to like put in that extra time to get to where you want to be. But I don't think there's a roadmap. I don't think there's a recipe because I think it's different for everybody. I think my path to getting towards, becoming a 9-figure business owner is drastically different in apparel, is drastically different than your because your success for you might look different than me, and I don't know if I want to be a multi-billionaire or whatever, but like me going that road is different than you saying I want to be a 6-figure business owner and then just be happy with that, because that's totally cool too.
Yeah.
But like the road is entirely different. Say you want to work in tech and I want to work in apparel, my way there is entirely different than your way there.
Yeah.
And even if we both started the same type of company, 2 custom apparel companies for the sake of the argument, because that's what we're doing, you can get to where you want to be in a different way that I want to be, because maybe you're a better salesman and I'm a better customer servant. And like, for me, you could just get on the phone and sell something. I have to go through the motions of like being that one-to-one, building that one-to-one relationship. It's just like we were talking about before, with growing the Revenge supporter base, having one-to-one relationships and like being able to talk to these people and things like that. That's why the route I would go. So like entirely different. I don't necessarily think there's a roadmap. I'm sure there are similar things that you talk to 150 successful people, and there's going to be a lot of like similar answers and similar, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
To me, it'd be characteristics. Like
Characteristics, that's the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, like or routines or something like that. I guess we could get into that a little bit. Like building routine and being in a routine and like doing the same thing over and over again is like really important to that. I'm up at 6 o'clock every day. I start my day. It doesn't always start with work, but at least I'm up and out of bed, and out of the shower by, I don't know. I'm in front of my computer by 7 every day.
Yeah.
And I get whatever wake up busy work needs to get done, and then like my day doesn't start till pretty much after that. But having some type of routine is super important. That's probably on the road to success. So in short,
No.
yes and no.
Yeah. No. And that's, I guess, the reason I want to ask that question is because I feel like it's kind of open ended. You might have somebody that comes here and gives you like certain characteristics you need to have to strive to be, or to be successful or whatever it may be, and then you have people like you. I mean, because I've also heard it 100 times before. Like, if it was easy, everyone would do it, and that's how it is. I mean, like in this day and age that we live in, this world we live in, like people truly think, and not to say that there isn't luck involved with certain things, or connections is a huge thing when it comes to a lot of different areas, really, but like if it was easy, everybody would do it. Like streaming and content creation. I mean, if everybody could do it and make a really solid living, then why the heck wouldn't you do that? Like, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you be able to sit at home, enjoy yourself, play the game you want to play, whatever it may be, and post some videos and just have a grand time with it? Like, obviously, for the most part, anybody would do that.
And everybody thinks that's what it is. Like you just.
Oh yeah.
Sure, and there's a lot of success cases in this industry, especially where it's like, hey, I just had a good day, and Ninja raided me, and for whatever reason, I was in the middle of like this crazy, I don't know, 40 kill Fortnite game or whatever, and like you pop off just like by accident.
Yeah.
But then there's also people like Ninja who, if you go back in his career pre Drake, he played Halo. And he got no viewers, and he like decided he wanted to be not no viewers, because thousands at a time are probably still a good number, or hundreds.
Yeah.
But he grinded. He decided he didn't want to play Halo anymore, or he stuck with Halo and started doing content, and then one thing led to another, and scaled, and he just chipped away at it.
Yeah.
Like nobody sees the story that goes into or that comes before all that success. Everybody sees Drake jump on a stream and get a guy to 400,000 viewers or some crazy shit like that, and it's like, oh man, this guy got so lucky.
Yeah, no, and that's like Nick Merckx. I've been following Nick Merckx for quite some time now, and I even followed him when he was quote unquote most likely considered
he was just
popular. Yeah. But no, like I didn't follow him back. Like I knew he came from Gears and a Gears Pro and things like that. and had worked through that. But like he does a really good job of reflecting on on the past in a good way. Obviously, like because for Christmases and stuff, he used to do like he'd do like $100 or $500 worth of stuff, and he would give it away on stream or whatever. And then this
Yeah.
past Christmas, he literally did like $100,000 Christmas, and was
Yeah.
just giving away beats and laptops and all this different stuff. I mean, so again, I guess to reiterate is what I'm saying is like unless people were around, they didn't see his come up and like where he came from. People that see him now are just like this dude literally chills and makes six figures a month playing video games at home. And like I
Yeah.
think obviously that goes with saying because you and I, Zach, are both considered, as Kobe would say, boomers or older in this industry. But like
Yep.
even being from like where I'm from a smaller community, like even just having like a nice little month when I was streaming consistently and stuff, and I would say like, oh yeah, I had a nice month. I blah blah blah. I did this and did that. Like people were just like, so people actually just come in there and throw money your way because you're, or like throw money towards you because you're playing a game. I'm like, there's more that goes into it than that. But I was like, I guess to simplify it down, sure. But like you said, I mean, when it comes to truly being a content creator, people don't see the fact that hours after stream, going through the VOD, getting clips, posting those
Yeah.
clips, editing those clips,
Yeah.
having all that different stuff. And again, that's just diving into the content creation side of things. But I think again that can go for anything and everything. Is that there's a grind to everything. Like everybody's on their own grind, and I think that's another big thing. By the way, it might be a little bit off track, but like everybody's on their own grind, right? So like
Uh huh.
not everybody's going to be available when you need them available or when you want them to be available or be able to do this. I mean,
Don't don't get me started on that shit, dude. That we could take this in another direction because
oh no,
the instant gratification of this industry is absolutely like insane. Like people, the amount of times it's like, oh, you didn't answer my DM fast enough. Like time for me to get on Twitter and say you scammed us or some stupid shit like that. Like
yeah,
it's everybody like, and it's great. It's great that I could have a conversation with somebody in Australia right now if I wanted to, and do business, conduct business, get a jersey designed, produced, shipped, and have jerseys in these people's hands, all from I don't know how many thousands of miles away Australia is,
yeah, a
six,
long,
something like
long, a
that,
long way.
lots of
Yeah,
miles.
yeah,
Um, but the downside to that is like people just expect that that's the norm, that you could just hit somebody up whenever, and like they're just going to drop what they're doing and have a conversation with you. And like it's something that I have learned in the last year. Something I really had focused on is like my work life balance or like my personal balance with my social media, my social like um, I don't want to say presence, but like my ability to get on social media.
hmm
Um, Prior to 2021, I considered myself very, very, very approachable. Like you hit me up and I'll get you back to you within 30 minutes or whatever. Um, but it took me last year to realize like it's not, it'll be there when I get back. And you can't, you can't revolve your life around making everybody else happy, and getting back to people right away and like all that stuff. Because, you're going to make yourself sick. Sorry, tangent. But the instant gratification of the community needed to be addressed. I got a tweet drafted waiting for the right moment, but it all came out.
No, I mean for sure, and I would say almost like all of us may be guilty of something like that. Maybe not the gratification kind of thing, but hitting somebody up and just like having to wait for a while or whatever. But I again, um, I actually have a funny story. A guy I used to work with worked for a big like Fortune 500 company, and they used to send out emails, a weekly email to like a newsletter, right?
Yeah,
And they started doing like the statistics on it, right? And the
like the open
and
rates and stuff.
huh?
Like who opened it and read it?
Yeah,
You
like
mean?
open and how long they had it open, whatever. So they knew like who was actually reading it, who was literally opening it just to say, get this read off of my freaking
Yeah.
desktop, and like it was sad, like it was low because this was a 2 or 3 page newsletter, and people
Mm-hmm.
were obviously like, I am not gonna sit here and open this and read this. So then what they started doing is they tried this out. They were like, you know what? It's going to be bullet points. We'll get 5 bullet points on that email. That's it. 5 bullet points. Each bullet point can't be more than 2 sentences.
Mm-hmm.
They started sending those out. skyrocketed. Everything skyrocketed. Open rates, read rates, like everybody was reading them. It went up like 350% or whatever. This craziness, but like there's actual, obviously like science and research behind the fact that us as human beings, our attention spans continue to, decrease. And like
Yes.
another
Look at
thing,
TikTok.
yeah, or like
Like,
or Vine. Like Vine was
yeah,
really popular
mine was even
because
worse. Man.
yeah, it
Six
was
seconds.
6 seconds, man. Like,
That's good.
but that's just something that I kind of look at, and then something like I'm not a huge movie buff, but I have buddies. Actually, my buddy Brennan, that's in the chat right now, is a huge movie buff. But like when you watch movies now compared to back then, like back then they used to have it, and it would just the camera would be set on two people talking for
A long
yeah,
time.
for
Yeah.
45 seconds to 2 minutes whatever, and now if you watch a movie, it's not on the same camera more than 10
No.
seconds,
It might still be on those people for the entirety of
but a
that
different
three
angle.
minute dialogue, but like it cuts.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that simply goes back to people's attention span, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
and people would probably say that like
Mm-hmm.
why are they sitting here on this same people
Yeah.
for more than 10 seconds, man? This is getting boring. Like
I mean, aesthetically, it's a good shot, doing all those cuts and all that, and then it just
uh-huh.
becomes the norm because everybody's, like you said, no attention span. We're the Vine generation.
Yeah, no, it's actually wild. And like I said, I think we're all guilty of that to some extent for certain things, but yeah, no, I definitely agree with you, and um so I think that comes along with maturity as well, maybe possibly just
Oh
like
yeah,
learning that
yeah. There's
people aren't there to wait on you hand and feet. Like
yeah,
they're gonna get to you when they can get to you, and then again everybody's on their own grind, man. And the sooner that people understand that and respect that, I think it's a better for everybody, really. So,
yeah,
but
yeah. I want to circle back to what we were talking about before because Whoops put something in there.
uh huh,
My boy Whoops. Um, so we were talking about like content creation and like what I wanted to say before he said that. So I'll say that and then I want to read his comment. There like you were talking about it's not that easy. You don't just get to stream and there's a lot of work that goes into being a content creator and like you don't just get to put a Twitch link in your bio and call yourself a content creator because that's not what it is. You don't just turn the stream on and say, oh, I'm a streamer now. But Whoops was saying, he said, that's why I always tell people it's not worth to do a 12-hour stream. Do like a 5 to 8 hour stream and go get clips. Like, I know a lot of people will do the subathon, like the subathon meta is like a thing. You go on, you say you're going to do all this crazy shit, and, people may get you to stream for 12 or 24 hours. And you might make a couple $100 that stream, or, I don't know the numbers to it, but you can make a good amount of money on that stream. And then you get off that and you have nothing residual from that. You're going to do a lot better longer term putting in a 4 hour stream, high octane, high quality content. If you're a screamer or if you're like really high energy, you're loud, whatever, like you could put all that energy into those 4 hours, take a 2 hour break, make dinner, come back, edit for 2 hours, and chop that up because it's all high quality content,
yeah,
and that's where all your other stuff goes. And then his next comment says, edit for the rest of those hours and utilize those hours to get content. So like in you're still creating content for those 12 hours, but instead of it being one 12-hour stream and then being burnt out and not want to do anything for 2 days, you're doing one super quality stream, cutting it up, and in those same 12 hours, you're setting yourself for residual success down the line. And obviously, Whoops said it all there, but I wanted to vocalize it.
no,
We have a
and
quick question. Hold on, we have a
okay,
quick question.
okay. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. I know it's probably breaking a rule, but I'm gonna grab a drink and I'll be right back.
Okay, well, what's your name and what's your question? Oh man, I gotta fill. This dude just got up and got a drink, and it's gonna make me fill. Um, yeah, I mean, so also, Whoops, I will agree with you. I've put not an absurd amount of time into editing a 30-second or 2 minute clip, but I've done a decent amount of clips where it's like I put like an hour or something into it, recording, editing, whatever, and they just flop. And it's like you can't put all that time in there and expect it to blow up. Maybe if that's what your content grows into over time, you could do that, but not at the gate. Got me and two others that want to join your record. Oh, bro, you want the link, my dude? Here's the link. It's literally pinned on our Twitter page, I think, bro.
What's that? The Rocket League tourney?
Yeah. I think you would
There
have
you
to
go.
sign up on Smash. See, yeah, Whoops got it too. So yeah, I got a question. I thought this guy, this, I'm assuming guy. I should have done that. I'm assuming this person was gonna go and
That's a question.
ask a question about the topic we were just talking about, and
Yeah,
my dude was just like, "So how do I sign up for the tournament?"
fair enough. Yeah. And if you need to ask any questions about that, Ohio or Slush or Poke is someone you can
That's a
reach
good
out
question.
to. If you're in our Discord, you can reach out to them, ask whatever you need. No,
Yeah,
you're
there
good,
is.
man.
There's a no, yeah. I was just making light of it. I was totally kidding. But yeah, there's a channel in our server. If you go in and on the role reactions, you just tag tournaments, and then there'll be a few questions or a few channels you can go into. Um, Before we go on, neither of us were involved with the making of the Revenge logo. Revenge was founded in 2015. I think the logo was made shortly after that, I believe, or before, I don't remember. But it was made by Mr. Zack Daigle. He has also made the E United logo. Um, he's made some pretty solid ones. I can't think of any off the top of my head though. But yeah, he made the logo back in the day. But I wasn't involved with it. Pittsburgh was who I don't know if he's in here, but
Let's
the
say,
original
yeah,
founder of Revenge.
he's somebody we could have on, maybe talk to about that or whatever.
Yeah, there's a like you could do a lot of history stuff with him. He'll
Yeah,
be able to talk a lot.
no, that would be cool. But like you said before, um, or what Whoops was talking about. Excuse me, guys. What were you talking about? He was talking about.
Um,
Um,
Better use of your time instead of like 12-hour
oh,
streams.
okay, yeah, and that. So the thing is too is this is something I always dive into as well, is like content. The game of content creation has changed so much in the past 5 to 6 years, or 4 to 6, let's say. That, like, it's insane because it used to be whoever hopped on Twitch, YouTube, whatever their streaming platform was, and streamed 400 hours a month was going to be the most successful streamer slash content creator out there. Now it is not that whatsoever. Like, you see a lot of creators that don't don't stream as much because they're trying to make an impact on other social platforms. And I believe we were talking about this earlier. Until you get to a certain level as a creator, anyways, like you're not gonna have the team like a guy like Nick Merckx or somebody. He has a full-fledged team that's going to get all of his clips for him. They're going to edit it. They're going to make it into YouTube video. He has that because he's worked his ass off to get where he is. But even like some creators
And
that,
those people are paid handsomely. Like
oh,
this
exactly,
is
yeah,
this is
yeah,
like there's probably a mantra where it's like, oh, if I get big enough, someone's just gonna want to do this work for me for free. And sure, you might have somebody who just kind of does clips for you here and there, but that person isn't always reliable long term. The Somebody who's gonna do the content and help someone like Nick Merckx, who is a brand,
mm-hmm.
uh, advance their career as somebody who needs to focus on that full time and needs to be paid for it. And when you're making 6 figures a month, you can kind of afford that.
Yeah, no, I mean, for sure. I wish I had a
Sorry,
team for
cut you off.
real. No, you're good. Yeah, whoops. I'm sure everybody does. But like, no, I basically, to close that off, what I was gonna say is there's probably even really good sized creators that you guys in chat might follow, or even any of us or whatever, that we're like, oh man, the stuff they put out is awesome. And then if you dive into it with them, you probably find out that they're the ones that are putting in the work and doing that stuff.
Yeah.
And whether that's they're somebody with a couple hundred viewers a stream or whatever, which most people would consider that to be like pretty successful or whatever. I mean, you would probably find out that it's like them and a couple loyal people they have behind them that help them out, and then other than that, it's them. Like, so there's, again, that kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier, Zach. Like, there is so much more behind the scenes with anything in life, really. I mean, truthfully, like, because you could look at a family around you that they've always had money, because we're a smaller community around here, but there's families around here that that certain family, they've always had money. Well, it
Yeah.
wasn't because it was just bestowed upon them. A eagle came in and dropped something on them. It was because somebody before them in their family had worked their ass off to get where they are today, and to give their generations you know the life that
Yeah.
they wanted or that they worked so hard for. I mean, so there's always a backstory to everything. There's always something behind the story, behind the all that. But I don't know. I think that's another thing. Again, that kind of goes back to what I said. You know, everybody's on their own grind. There's a grind to everything. I mean, there's so much more to anything in this life that people don't know about, and to make assumptions, I guess, is something we're all guilty of, and you cannot say you're not. Nobody here can say they've never made an assumption about somebody based off of whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But again, there's a lot of different things that um, I think we all kind of look at it different ways and stuff. But they're all in all, there's a method to the madness for anything. So
I agree. I agree.
but yeah, guys, for the rest of the time, really, what we were gonna do is just, and we kind of already dipped into this. We already kind of dove into that. But if you guys have any other questions, hopefully they're questions based off of what we've been speaking on, or just anything. We're just gonna open the floor up and talk about this. Anything you guys want to talk about? I won't say anything because I know some of you guys in chat that would probably say some really goofy stuff, but yeah, we're gonna open up the floor if you guys want to talk about some things. Um, and then other than that, we're gonna transition out of here. Like I said, couple bumps in the road for the first podcast, but all in all, I think there's been some pretty good information and stories shared.
It's got anytime. So my fiance and I, we do a lot of not a lot, but we don't have like construction background or anything like that. But we've done a few things around the house, and it's like, every time there's a little bit of a nick in a piece of wood, or you cut something not straight, she always goes, it shows character.
It'll do.
So that's what this stream is about. We a couple bumps in the road, a couple nicks. It's just character building.
It'll buff out. Also, yeah.
It'll buff.
There
you go. Yeah. We'll just get Kobe to edit it.
Yeah. Somebody else will fix it. It'll buff out. Nah.
It won't be Kobe.
Nah. I just honestly, maybe next time the host will bring water with him. That's a fact. That's what I'm talking about. That's definitely one of the bumps. Yeah, I went and got it because I forgot it on my counter. I did fix the water. I just didn't get the water. But yeah.
Oh, you left it over there?
Yeah. No, it's
what good is that?
Zack, see my water jug?
I have. Yeah. Hey, if you
I need to.
It's with a K.
Oh yeah. It's all right. It'll buff out. It'll buff out. No. I mean, all in all, like I said, for you guys, hopefully that will come around for all these podcasts whenever you guys can make it. Like I want this to be somewhat structured, obviously, with the same 3 questions that we're gonna ask, but I also want it to be open ended because I believe that's mainly where you get, your content or your different conversations or truly get to see whoever it may be that's here with me or myself for some of you guys that don't know me that well. But autocorrect got me, bro. That's what they all say. Whoops. Come on, man.
Yeah, a TBD. Or not TBD, TBA. To be announced.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we're not sure. And like I said earlier on, we'll try to get a shuffle of people in here, not only from Inside Revenge, but hopefully with other organization companies or just straight up individuals. So
have we locked that in? Is it every Monday, or are we just doing open-ended weekly?
We're gonna try to do it Monday. It might differ a little bit, depending on who it is, because I can't guarantee that everybody's gonna have Monday night open. But it'll be Monday through Wednesday, I would say for sure. But we're gonna shoot for Monday nights. And again, we started around 7-ish tonight, and that's something we're gonna shoot for. But there also might be somebody that's not available till 8:30 Central, and that might be something we have to do or whatever. But
what we will say is make sure you follow us on Twitter and join the Discord so you could see when we're going to do these.
Absolutely, because they will be posted. Oh, we do. We have the website over there, and then.
Oh, I was just raising my hand. I wasn't necessarily.
You're just making a point. Okay.
Which now we got a vanity URL, so I could put a link for the Discord on there too. Just add a little box.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
Shout out my boy Cap for that double boost.
Let's go, baby.
I'm available Monday through Sunday after 5. Oh, good.
Yeah.
So you could edit. Can you edit the podcast?
Yeah. I appreciate you offering all that time to us, Weber. That's
How
crazy,
nice of you.
man.
How nice, man.
Oh no. But no, like I said, I definitely want this. Or to answer your question, whoops, I think I kind of did. It'd be Monday, shoot for Mondays, but Monday through Wednesday, and then we're hoping to have the VOD
We gotta
uploaded
get a
onto
system
YouTube.
figured
Yeah,
out.
we're gonna get a system figured out. But really, what this all in all is like, we just want this to be a different kind of content that we can bring to you guys, and then
Yeah.
hopefully, our crew that comes in here and watches it live will continue to grow. So that, I mean, maybe this ending segment lasts an hour just talking about whatever chat wants to talk to. Listen,
But not today.
You're the next. Yeah, not today. Zach's probably gotta go make some supper here soon. So,
Yeah.
absolutely. Listen,
I already know.
your next guest is me. I'm the captain now.
Do a podcast where Whoops plays Rocket League, clips it, and I rate them. That's not a bad idea. I mean, that's not a bad idea.
Why wouldn't you just have Whoops play Rocket League on his own stream and then you go rate them?
That's also not a bad idea. Pacing is gonna always be here.
Pacing's gonna always be here. Well, you appreciate that. We've seen you a lot in Discord here. Yep. Fist bump. Seen you a lot in Discord here recently, so we appreciate that. And I think you're newer to the content grind, so good luck with that. Have fun with that. And I'm sure if you have any questions, you can always shoot some over to some of our guys. But yeah, if anybody else has anything else to talk about, we'll do that. If not, we will throw the link tree in the chat one more time so you guys can make sure you're following. Join that Discord like Zach said. Have we updated the Discord link on the link tree?
They both still work.
Okay.
It's not on the link tree, but it's the link should still work because we still have the old link.
Okay.
But yeah, everything should be on there.
Cool.
Yeah. And we'll get this. Obviously, I'm not just some random guest, so we'll talk about this and what we're going to do for the podcast. I might host one down the line. I might kick Cap off the throne. But we'll get some commands set up and like little alerts. We have plenty of room, real estate, like under this box, if we wanted to, or above both boxes, or we could throw some alerts if we wanted to, and little we gotta get commands going. We'll get all that stuff sorted for the next one.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely get that fixed. Whoops says much love, fellas. Have a great night. Yo, Whoops, thank you so much for being here, and as always, thanks for being a cracked out individual and caster as well. Appreciate you, man. But yeah. Whoops is a fucking guy. But yeah, like I said, I had a lot of fun with this and gonna grow from this. Don't forget your water when you sit down. Don't listen to Kobe or Weber when they talk to you about anything audio wise. No, they did help out. Josh says we're cuties. Appreciate that.
What's up, Josh? We're on the way out, but thanks for stopping by. First time viewer. First time chat.
First time, man. That's crazy. But yeah, no. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. We're gonna be looking. We'll announce what we say. Friday we'll announce. Friday we'll announce guest.
I think Fridays we'll announce the following guest date, time. Have that all ironed out by then.
Yeah. So just look for that. Mostly on Twitter. And then obviously we're gonna post some clips from this. From all the wonderful information that you've gathered from Zach and I here, and then
rambling.
Yeah, and then we'll go from there. But again, appreciate you guys. I don't know. Do we have a?
We don't have an
creator live.
I'll make that.
Do we have a creator live?
Oh, do we have a creator live? I don't
know.
I didn't get a ping. Yeah, we don't have a ping. Vin is live. Why did he not? Oh, is he still live for his birthday? Oh yeah, it's Vin's birthday.
Vin still? He is still live.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we're just gonna raid up Vin then. We'll raid Vin, guys. If you can hang out for a second and go show him some love, that would be awesome. It's Vin's birthday. He's like 64 today or something like that.
Vin is literally raiding. He's literally raiding somebody right now.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right. Well, we're not gonna do that. I don't know that we have any other creator lives, so we might just have to send it off for the night.
Yeah.
But well, that sucks.
I don't know what it looks like.
Is he raiding something? Titan?
So It's got the little thing that says Vindot is rating Trizenity with 38
Yeah, no,
letters.
then that means he
Yeah.
is. I mean, we could raid the boy Titan. I mean,
Yeah, that's fine.
he's obviously he's stepping away, but we love Titan around here. So
Yeah, give it time.
we'll raid Titan. If you guys want to go watch a cracked out Rebirth player, go show him some love. But other than that, like I said, guys, really appreciate y'all stopping by, and I hope to see you guys here more often, and should shoot for next Monday. So
Cool.
see you guys later.
Bye.